Спасибо. So initially today, me and Yulichka wanted to go and visit another city here in Ukraine, Fastiv. But we looked at the bus timetable and the bus was running a little bit late for us. So Yulia suggested, why not go to the city of Skvyra? And so we jumped on a bus and we're here in Skvyra. We don't know what's to offer here, so we're gonna go and check it out. We've traveled 38 kilometers from Bielorussia. So guys, let's go and check out Skvyra. I don't know how good this video is gonna be, but let's go and check it out. Skvyra is a really ancient, I say ancient, old city here in Ukraine. A lot of old, really old buildings. These buildings obviously go back to Soviet Union time. You can they still stand here in all their glory. So Skvyra is a very old city, and it has quite a bit of history, as I've already found out by doing a bit of research. So I'll tell you a little bit more in a bit. But yeah, check out these buildings. Here written is Univermag. Univermag. This is like a universal shopping centre where you can buy everything you need. So back in Soviet times, and even now, if you're short of a bit of sellotape or whatever your requirements are, you can go to Univermag. Tam jest można kupić все. Possible to buy everything. Here we have a random homage to Paris, the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower, I should say. There's Yulichka. Say hello, Yulichka.
Hello.
And here we have a real restaurant from the Soviet Union, Restaurant Kiev. Except we're not in Kiev, we're in Skvyra. Kiev is about 200 kilometers from here, maybe less actually, a little bit less. Wow, so guys, here it is, check it out, Skvyra. Guys, check out this motorcycle, a real motorcycle from the Soviet Union. Look at this, from the post-Soviet Union, a real Soviet motorcycle. Look at that, wow. Maybe we should buy one of these, Yulichka. We можем место. We should buy one. Travel around Ukraine on our Soviet motorcycle. Wow. It's a little bit windy here again. My last video had lots of wind noise, and looks like this one's going to have wind noise too. Here in Ukraine, there's a lot of street dogs. So if you don't like dogs, then Ukraine's not the place for you. But I'm used to them now, and I quite like the dogs. Here's a couple. Привет. Все нормально? You're relaxing, yeah? Got a lot of flies on you, poor thing. Alright guys. Хорошего дня.
Good luck.
So we're just walking now into a little park area where you can come to chill out if you want to, have something to eat, something to drink. Not much going on in old Skvyra today. It's a Sunday. It's a quiet town. Population, I think I read, wow, it's only a few thousand or something. I'm not sure, I can't quite remember that fact. So here we have a pump where you can take water, bivit. So people will come from their homes, take water. A lot of the water supply here in Ukraine isn't very good straight out the tap. So you've got two choices really, or three choices. You can either risk it and drink the water. Two, you can buy a filter system so it filters through. Or three, you come out to one of these, you fill up your 6-litre plastic bottle or whatever, and hey, you've got fresh water from underground. That's what we do. I've thought about buying a filter actually, because it's a little bit inconvenient, but haven't got round to it yet, so we'll see. So here we've got a really old building, and all across it in writing is Aboriginal, which is basically be careful, because it's falling apart. As you can see, you've got some bricks or whatever they are falling apart, windows. So yeah, a very old city. Yeah, you can see here where everything's all come off. Look, here we got a typical advertisement board, people selling kvartiri, apartments. Here you can find jobs, maybe take credit if you need some money. So you'll see all these things stuck around in certain places here. All right, let's go. See what else we can find here in old Skvyra. So here we have a monument to the people that were involved in the revolution in Kiev about 6 years ago. I don't know if you remember, but on Maidan Square there was lots of rioting going on. A lot of people got injured. So here is memory to those people. Wow. Ja lubię Skvyru. I love Skvyra. I'm not sure how my feelings are towards this city yet, because I've not experienced much of it. But it's an insight into another city here in Ukraine. It's always very interesting, especially the history, remembering where you are. A post-Soviet state. Lots of things have happened here. Lots of good things, lots of terrible things. Skvyra used to be a big settlement to a lot of Jewish people, and a lot of Jewish people really suffered at the hands of some awful people, especially during World War II. Many Jews were massacred, raped, pillaged. Some really terrible things happened here. So when you're walking around, you know, you're trying to picture all this, trying to imagine what happened here. It's an interesting place. So this gentleman is Taras Shevchenko. Yulichka, hello. Hello. He's a famous writer and poet here in Ukraine. So there you go. I do like their poets and writers here. And why not? And here we have some old administrative centre, maybe, where important decisions are made for Skrivka, possibly. And here we have, looks like a photo shop. У нас для вас photo. Просто class. We do for you photos, simply awesome. So if you're in Skvyra and you need your photos printed, then you come to this place here. Yes. And maybe also it looks like you can get your computer fixed also. Wash computer. Wow. All right. Here we have another really old home. You can see how the architecture was. People put a lot of work into it, quite a bit of design. And although it's in not the greatest condition now, you can imagine what it was like when it was first built. Quite beautiful. So here we have a typical Ukrainian street. This one's very quiet. Ukrainians like to colour their houses, lots of different colours. You see green, pink, yellow, blue, which is quite nice. It's, you know, you've got a different variant there. It's not like in England where they all look the same, you know, so I quite like the variation. So Yulichka was just telling me that this factory here, they make really good bread and deliver it to a lot of cities around here in Ukraine. And here we have a bread shop, and the smell is really nice. So we're going inside. We're going to go and check it out. See if I can film. Здравствуйте. У вас есть очень хороший запах. Да? Да.
Да.
Так вкусно, наверное, да? А что ты хочешь купить?
Ну, сейчас я посмотрю.
Going to buy some sochnik. Apparently it's very tasty. We're wearing our masks because we're very good like that. Here we have vareniki, blinchki, typical Ukrainian food.
Мне нравится вон тот хлеб такой длинный, темный. Там есть орехи, изюм, что-то вкусное.
Хорошо,
Семечки.
хорошо.
Давай купим домой.
Да, хорошо.
Хорошо. И вот этот хлебушек черный.
Дякую. До побачення. Yay! We bought our delicious. Как называется еще раз?
Хлебный магазин, хлебный завод.
Какой-то штуки.
Сочник.
Sochnik. Мы купили sochnik. Serum with syrup. So let's check it out. Here's my sochnik. Now I said it's with syrup. I got that wrong. It's with cheese. Serum with cheese. That was me translating wrong. So let's try it. Sochnik. Look, it looks like a kind of very small cheese pasty. Mmm. Mmm.
Yum yum.
It's very sweet, it's very nice. As you can tell by the noises I made, I like it. So I recommend sochnik. Get the feeling that this city here is quite a poor one. There's lots of places in disrepair. We had one person already ask us for some money. But it's a very interesting city actually. It's surprising. Some of the cities that you would think, well, yeah, it's not going to be that interesting, there's not much there. But if you dig a little deeper, you know, you can scratch away and find some decent history. Let me show you this. This is an old letterboxes, pochta, where people get their letters, parcels, things like that. You can see how very old this is. See, got the numbers. There should be numbers on each one for each house. You can see here the difference, the chasm between the rich and the poor. If we look over to my right, and I don't really want to film too much, but you can see how some people live here. You know, the people with the money, the people with their big businesses, you know, politicians, people like that. You know, a lot of these people have a lot of money, and but a lot of people live, you know, so poorly. A lot of people on pensions get such a small amount. And then you've got people living like this with great big walls that surrounded. They're like mansions, you know. And to be fair, maybe this person is just a businessman. He's earned his money, you know, fairly. Maybe not, who knows? But a lot of people do really struggle to make ends meet here in Ukraine, which is sad to see. We also bought some cakes with cream, so I'm gonna eat one of these now. Неплохо. It'd be great with a cup of tea. Да? Чай, да?
Да.
You can see how a lot of people here live. They have their own allotments and they grow all their vegetables. Maybe they sell them, travel into the city. You see a lot of babushkas sit outside supermarkets and they're selling what they've grown at home to earn a bit of extra money to add to their pension. So if you can support these people, it's really good. And a lot of the time, the quality of the products you buy from the people from the villages, like the babushki, grandmas, the quality of the food is a lot better as well. You know, tomatoes, all sorts of things. So if you can support these people, that is really good. Wow, look at this. We have some people on a horse and cart. Здравствуйте. So somehow we've kind of veered off from the city centre and now we seem to have walked into the countryside. Once again, we have a picturesque scene of Ukraine here in all its lush beauty. Here we have a stream. So we've just come to a home of an old archaeologist. I think he may have been a scientist too. Anyway, I can't read this. This is in Ukrainian, so Yulia's gonna read it for us and I'll translate it back in subtitles. Go for it, Yulichka.
В этом доме родился и жил известный ученый, профессор, археолог, музейный деятель Карл Васильевич Болсуновский. Умер в 1924 году.
Отлично, спасибо, Yulichka. Okay, so we'll translate that back later. You would have already read it. So why am I saying that for? There you go. Never mind. Onwards. We're collecting nuts. They're quite expensive in the shops. Are these walnuts? Well, if we didn't see much, we collected some nuts. So, it wasn't a complete disaster of a video. Once again, we see the contrast between rich and poor. And we see that this lady's just walked into this house and she obviously still lives there. The gate doesn't even shut properly. It's like just leaning up against the posts. You know, when I set out to film videos of Ukraine, I wanted to film the real Ukraine, you know, how people live. So I don't want to hold back in my filming, you know, show how people really live. I mean, this place is falling apart. Look at it. All the structure, all the plaster, whatever it's called, is coming down. I mean, that's not even a window anymore, is it? So you can see here how people are living in Ukraine. Wow. So we're heading back towards the centre now of Skvyra. Across the road here we have Bank and Aranta. So that's a bank, an insurance company. Yeah, so interesting place. So I thought today's video would probably be a fairly short one. I wasn't sure, you know, what we were going to see here, so but it's always worth a shot. Here's another old building, and in this one you can buy mebli, furniture, and produkty I mięso, so products, food products and meat. There you go. Right, so this home, remember earlier we saw a statue of Taras Shevchenko. Well, this is where he lived. This house is actually 300 years old, approximately. So this is the place where he lived, and now they're selling furniture, food and meat. There you go. All right. As I was saying earlier about architecture and the way things were designed, if you look at this old sign here that's peeled off, but you see what it's on, like the plinth it's on. Look at that beautiful design. Wow. So that's one thing you've got to respect about Soviet times, is how they design things and, you know, the effort they put into it. You know, modern day buildings that we see now, they go up in 5 minutes, they're made out of cardboard, nothing interesting at all. But, you know, back in the old days, you know, in most countries things were designed a lot better. They were made to last, you know, there was, you know, thought behind it. I mean, even this like wall fence, whatever you want to call it, there's a nice design in it, you know. There's a bus stop. So Yulia wants a coffee, so we're on our way to find somewhere to drink coffee now. So let's see what we can find. Looks like we're coming back into the centre now. Life's a little bit more busier. So we go and find some cafe, buy a coffee, maybe somewhere off on the street. Here we have a typical Ukrainian newsstand called Pressa. This one's closed at the moment, but usually you can buy all the latest newspapers here, magazines, maybe some stationery. A lot of them everywhere, popped up around Ukraine. Here's an advertisement here to join the army. Служба service безпеки Ukraine. Service something Ukraine. So I think this must be an advertisement if you want to join up. Anyway, Yulia's gone ahead in the distance, and we're on the search for coffee, which shouldn't be too hard to find here in Ukraine, as there's coffee places everywhere. But it seems to be a bit of a struggle at the moment. Anyway, let's go. So earlier I was talking about, you know, running water at home. It's not very clean, so you have to go and collect water from a pump or something like that. There's also this option where you can put a big, like say 6-litre bottle, plastic bottle in there, you pay your money and it fills with water in here. Another ingenious Ukrainian idea. We found our coffee, cappuccino. So I think we're coming to the end of our trip here in Skvyra. We had some free time today, so not an amazingly wonderful adventure today, but gives you a little bit of insight into life here in Ukraine. So guys, until next time,